The Liberal government is planning to overhaul temporary resident programs in Canada. The immigration minister announced today that for the first time ever, Canada will set targets for how many people are allowed into the country through these programs. The goal is to reduce the number of these people over the next 3 years.
I've directed my department to conduct a review of existing programs that bring in temporary workers, and we're undertaking work to better align streams with labour market needs and weed out abuses in the system.
The CBC's Karina Roman is standing by for us in the nation's capital, and she has more now. So, Karina, tell us a little bit more about these immigration target changes and why the government is making them.
Okay, so first of all, there's this overall target that they want to get in terms of the percentage of population. So temporary residents right now make up 6.2% of Canada's population, or 2.5 million people. They want that over 3 years to get down to 5%. And just to clarify, because temporary residence is sort of a big umbrella group, it can include, and this is not the list entirety, but just an example, international students, temporary foreign workers, skilled workers, asylum seekers. It is a large group in terms of people. To get to that overall target of 5% of the population, they're now, for the first time, going to start publishing targets in their yearly immigration plan numbers for temporary residents. And those targets in terms of actual numbers of, okay, this is how many we will take in and how many we'd like to have come into the country each year, will be done in collaboration and consultation with the provinces and territories, as the minister says, that they know their unique needs. Now, a preliminary discussion on that will happen in May. Why this is being done? Well, the minister says, number one is sustainability of the system and dealing with capacity issues. We've done lots of stories on housing and how we have people, within Canada who have been in Canada a long time who can't find housing. And now, you've got all these people coming in and we're saying, yeah, come to Canada, contribute to our economy. Oh, but sorry, we have no place for you to live. So they really need to deal with the capacity issue of provinces and territories to house these people who want to work here or live here, even if it's just temporarily, especially when we talk about, of course, international students. And they also want to be more strategic. So we do have labor needs. We do need temporary residents, such as temporary foreign workers or skilled workers, or sometimes companies do intercompany transfers. So it's not like they want to go down to zero, but they want to be more strategic in terms of aligning the numbers with the actual needs that we have in this country.
Karina, how will this impact temporary foreign worker programs specifically?
So they did address that in a news conference today because there are new restrictions within that program. The government wants to reduce employers' reliance on that program or what they might characterize as an overdependence. They don't want employers to use the temporary foreign worker program to avoid paying, decent wages to Canadians or people already in Canada. They want it, as I said, to be a program of last resort. So an employer would get a labor market impact assessment based on the fact that they say, we cannot find anyone here. So going forward, that used to be based on Canadian citizens, permanent residents, refugees. Now they want the employers to consider asylum seekers as well. So people who have come here seeking asylum who have work permits. And Marc Miller, the immigration minister, talked about why that's important. Have a listen.
And employing them when it comes to asylum seekers, obviously, as a matter of dignity, but also getting a few bucks into their pockets and getting them on the process of integration. So that's an important societal measure, but it also makes economic sense.
So they also are concerned about the abuse of temporary foreign workers and want to make sure that there's accountability in the system to make sure that that doesn't happen. And Randy Boissonnault, the employment minister, did talk about this, about the ramifications and how they're trying to make sure there is accountability. Have a listen.
If the behavior doesn't get better, there's another review, and I step in and give hefty fines and pull the permit for 5 to 10 years. And I have done that as minister already. And so I said this at the Senate, I'll say it here now, there's a new sheriff in town, and if employers are abusing temporary foreign workers, we're going to find you.
Now, really overall, they want employers to adjust to a new reality. There was a very large job vacancy issue post-pandemic. There are still job vacancies, but they want employers not to just be their first point of reaction is to look for temporary foreign workers. There are exceptions, though, for healthcare workers and construction in terms of some of these restrictions because those areas are still so in dire need of workers.
Karina, thank you for this. The CBC's Karina Roman for us in Ottawa.